Good day and welcome back to the podcast, A New Perception. My name is Ketuk. And sometimes we get used to certain things. We become maybe even complacent with it. A lot of what we do is what we're used to. Is it good for us? Do we want more of it? Do we want less of it? Just because we're used to it and we do it, sometimes we begin to believe that it's good for us. It may be, it may not be. I get used to working where I'm at. Is that good for me or is it not good for me? Been employed where I'm at for a period of time. And is it healthy? Is it good for me? Do I do it because I'm used to it? For me personally, I'm able to do other things outside of my place of employment. I'm able to do this podcast. I'm able to do some service work. I'm able to do some volunteering. I'm able to do some things where I can get connected to people outside of work in many different realms. So therefore, what I do for my job, which I've gotten used to, is not necessarily unhealthy for me. And I could be doing a job that's not necessarily healthy for me that I get used to and I just don't want to change it. My eating habits, I get used to eating a certain way. Is it healthy for me? In my experience, in my lifetime, it's not always healthy for me just because I'm used to it. I've had to change some eating habits through the years, and I've made some different approaches at different times, and the way that I eat, the things that I don't eat, the things that I do eat. And for me, just because I'm used to eating a certain way doesn't mean that that's the way I need to consume food for a lifetime. I only need to eat for nutritional value. That is the reality. Sometimes I eat for flavor and I'll overindulge because I want more of that flavor. I will be attracted to a certain type of food because I want that flavor. I may be used to eating something because I've eaten this my whole life. Doesn't mean it's healthy for me. As I become an elder, I need to be able to recognize what it is that I'm doing on a regular basis, the things that I'm used to doing, and I need to recognize whether they're healthy, and I'd like to continue to do them because they work in all aspects of my life, or they're not healthy, and how do I take the steps to change things that I'm used to doing that are not healthy? I was getting loaded at one time in my life on a real regular basis at the time, and it wasn't healthy for me. I wasn't connected to people very well. I wasn't getting what I needed out of life. There was a lot of reasons, even though I was used to it, that I needed to make some changes in my life to not be getting loaded every day. And I began other certain habits when I began to give up getting loaded. I made some different routines that seemed to be healthier. For me, part of that process in making changes is needing to find something else to do. I can't just say, okay, I'm going to give this up and then do nothing to alter that. I need to take some different action, some different behavior. What happens is I begin to think different. And when I think different, I feel different. Then, all of a sudden, I didn't want to be getting loaded because I was feeling different, when initially I stepped back from it because I thought it maybe wasn't the best decisions I was making, and I was going down a road that wasn't working out real well for me. I didn't have those connections in life. So what happened is I created these connections in life outside of getting loaded in different ways. And I felt connected. And then all of a sudden it's like I don't want to. What I've found for me is just because I'm used to it doesn't mean it's healthy. I've also found just because I'm used to it doesn't mean it's unhealthy. Since each one of us is a unique manifestation of Creator, we all have our own journey. Now, people may say that in many different ways. People may say, well, put yourself in their situation. Walk in their shoes. Many different ways to say it. I may or may not need to do that. I just may need to put myself in a different situation. I may need to walk in a new pair of shoes myself. I just need to be able to be uncomfortable making certain decisions to change things in my life. Sometimes people act like being comfortable is really important. When I'm used to doing things that are not healthy for me, it's not necessarily comfortable to change it. Sometimes I keep doing it because I'm comfortable. I know what I'm going to get. I know the routine. The routine's not the best. It doesn't always work out great for me. And I know the routine. The fear of the unknown is unbelievable. I have lived with fears. I still live with fears. I need to recognize them. I need to be able to face them. I have lived with fears of the unknown. And then it's difficult to make those changes. And I want to stay in that routine and stay comfortable because I don't want to make those changes. The reality for me is that when I have faced those fears of the unknown, not knowing what may come, not knowing how it may come, and I have faced it, I have made changes that have been really good for me. I have gotten out of that routine I once lived in and began a new routine, found new connections, found a new way of thinking because I took different action. And I began to feel different, and hence didn't want to get loaded anymore. So the actions that I take will dictate how I think. I may need to take a different action out of a daily routine that I'm used to be able to think different. When I first started doing meditation on a daily basis, I was asked to meditate a couple times a day. When I was learning this practice, I was asked how many times I had done it since the day before. Well, I did it 3 times yesterday. My teacher, who's an elder to me, who I had great respect for, who has since returned to the spirit world, my teacher says to me, I didn't tell you to meditate 3 times yesterday. I told you to meditate twice. Can you not follow directions? I don't know what words he used, what terminology he used. That's basically what he said. It reminded me of one year in that, grocery line or that in that supermarket or somewhere where it says 10 items or less and somebody's there with a cart full and you want to say to them, can you not read or can you not count? It's kind of how I felt. So what I realized is that I'm not following directions very well. I want to change my routine. I want to learn to meditate twice a day, but I think I'll do more. I wasn't asked to do more. I was asked to do this, like this, at this time of day, for this long. I learned very quickly when he corrected me, day 2, that he was asking me to do something specific to set a routine in my life that could change my life. So I began to do as I was asked. And I began to get results that were unbelievable. The meditation helped. It was a new routine. Then I began to do yoga. And at first I went to the yoga studio, and I went every week to the best of my ability, probably about 3 times a month. And I would do this practice to the best of my ability in the yoga studio. And then our teachers there would talk about a home practice. I begin a home practice, and I begin to do yoga every day. I'm meditating every day. I'm doing yoga every day. What I'm doing is a new practice in my life, a new routine. I'm getting used to doing something different, and I'm getting different results. So just because I'm used to doing it every day doesn't mean it's not healthy for me. I just need to examine whether it's healthy, how much I want to continue to do it, how I want to continue to do it, what is it I'm actually getting out of it, what is it I'm putting into it. So if I have a routine that I'm doing, and I'm used to doing something in my life, can I see the balance between what I put into it and what I get out of it? Often, maybe always, probably not. Always is not a fair word for me to use, probably at any time. Often, what I realize is that when things are healthy for me, what I put into it is never as great as what I get out of it. I may put everything I have into it, I just seem to get so much more out of it. Whether that's yoga, whether that's meditation, whether that's ceremonies, whether that's my connection with the Creator, whether that's my connection with our children, our grandchildren, my wife, my siblings. If I put something forward, I seem to get more out of it when it's healthy. When I continue to put into it, whatever that might be, and I get nothing out of it, it may not be real healthy. So what I'm doing on a regular basis has to do with what I'm putting into it and what I receive from it. Is the balance there for me to be able to want to continue? Is the balance there for me to need to continue because I benefit more than what I give? Today, I can see where this is important. I see some things I still need to change and some things I need to not do on a regular basis, and I need to make some changes in my life. And there's certain things I'm doing in my life I need to continue to do every week, and I need to continue to do every month, and I need to continue to do every day so I can keep getting the things that are healthy for me. And then I show up as a good relative. Then I carry a good heart. Then I'm the man I need to be today. Looking forward to next time. Live in harmony with and use the bounty of the land to bring kindness to the world. Doksha, okay.